How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today is a dream come true because I'm finally installing a 4-post lift in my garage. Well, it's finally happening. For those of you who have been following my channel, you'll know that I made a proclamation that I would be putting a lift into my garage, a 4-post lift, and today is the day. The installers gave me a call. They said they're on their way, and right here in a few hours' time, that's where a Bendpak HD-9 is gonna sit. So I am so excited. To get ready for this install, I had to do a few things. First of all, the garage door, I made a video about that. But the garage door had to be lifted. So these railings, they were a lot lower when I first got the house. So I got a new garage door and then I basically lifted that up. That's basically so when I have a car on here, and I lift it up, it doesn't hit the garage door, obviously. The only thing I had to do other than have this dirty garage floor was have an air compressor. And that's an air compressor I got from a guy in Craigslist. It was about $100. And that's the $25 air compressor that, I don't know, it works sometimes. I didn't want to really leave it up to chance, so I got this one. It's quite quiet and it's pretty good. So you need an air compressor, you need electricity, which is right there via this cord. I still have to make some, custom outlets or whatever. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the motor yet. But you also need 4 to 5 gallons of, I think it's Dextron 3 ATF. So that's basically hydraulic fluid. So that's going to be for the hydraulic pump. And that's it. It's pretty simple. You don't need to drill into the concrete like some 2-post lifts need to do. This is basically a freestanding lift. I can even order some casters that you put underneath. So you can basically roll it wherever you need to go. I'm not going to do that because there's only one place it's going to go. It can't fit in here just because there's this little divot in the floor. But right here is turning this one bay into a 2-car bay. And it is done. Oh my God, it looks so awesome. So I just got my car up in the air for the very first time. And there's actually more space than I thought there would be. You can see up top, right at the back, where the antenna is. That is just touching the roof. And I guess that's a marker for me to stop lifting it and put it on the locks. And for any of you that are getting a 4-post lift, I suggest putting a little, put a little mark right here. I'll do that for all my cars. But yeah, let's do a quick overview. This thing is awesome. So this is a Bendpak HD-9. The HD probably stands for heavy duty. Not really too sure on that. The 9 stands for 9,000 pounds. And that is the weight limit. That's the rated weight limit. So I can put basically 2.5 of these on top of this lift, and it should lift it with no problem at all. So the motor is a 110 volt. It's regular power, and it has this airlock. This airlock, it's kind of haphazardly connected to a Craftsman 1.6 horsepower, 26-gallon compressor. You can actually use compressors way smaller than this. All this does is release the locks, and the locks are, I believe they are right here. I believe that is the lock. I'm not quite sure. I think it might be inside the post or something, but yeah. I didn't build it. I had somebody else build it. And the reason why, of course, is because I don't have the manpower nor the tools to build this. And I also wanted kind of peace of mind. If I'm going to be putting this car up in the air, I don't want it to be something where I guessed at something and got something wrong. So that's something I definitely don't want to do. So leave it to the professionals. One thing I kind of screwed up on in ordering this thing is that I kept these ramps, which are good. They're heavy duty ramps, but they hang down like this. And for me to actually drive a car in here, like my Mercedes, the ramps are going to hit. So I need to have something that holds these ramps up, or I need to remove them. And removing these ramps is a bit of a pain in the ass just because I have to take this little lock nut out and take this out. These are heavy. They're like 50 pounds each. So I should have probably ordered the aluminum ramps, and I'll do that later on. But it's an easy installation. It's not anything too complicated. But look at that clearance. Look at the clearance of the, yeah. Nothing's hitting. It's pretty it's pretty tight, but yeah, it's there. So it's almost like it was meant to be here. Here's something else that I got that's really, really cool. So coming under here, this is a Rj45 Jack. Now what this does is it has these little arms, and you can put these things, these little pads on this arm, and these can rise and whatnot. Like they have extenders, and this is a scissor jack. So this basically, this thing turns this 4-post lift essentially into a 2-post lift, because I can now get the car up in the air. I can do stuff on the wheels, the suspension, maybe even an engine swap. I do have a lot of room here, so it's pretty versatile. This was an additional cost. This actually costs around half as much as the entire lift does. This is like $1,100 or something. And a lot of people, they have 2 of these, but I can't justify that. I think I only got 1, and I think for home use this is more than enough. And in addition to this, I haven't hooked this up yet, so it's still there's still an air line missing right there, but that's all gonna come in due time. If you go underneath here, these are the drip trays. So the drip trays, you know, they keep oil from dripping down. If I have a car parked here, all that oil isn't gonna puddle up and, you know, hit the car. So these are really cool. I mean, it's just molded plastic. It's not anything, you know, too heavy duty. It's pretty pliable, and these are like $50. So maybe it makes sense to buy them. Not secondhand, but maybe aftermarket. Here's a better look at that jack. So the jack has this this scissoring action here. Yeah, it lifts and lowers all by air, and it's on these little roller bearings, and it can roll. Very heavy duty. Has a pretty high weight limit as well. All right, one thing that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped was this fitting right here. So that fitting it's an airline and it's leaking. So I'm gonna have to get a new tee for this, and I can probably just order it or have Bendpak send it out, because they just gave me a tee that was bad. But I mean, this thing is probably $1, so I don't really care about that. Other than that, everything works well. And yeah, let me show you how it all works. My garage is an absolute mess, but this is all, you know, whatever. I'll throw most of this stuff out. Here we are again at the motor, and well, the pump rather, and this is filled with hydraulic fluid. And the hydraulic fluid is again the ATF, the Dexron 3. So what you're going to need to do to lower this bad boy is you want to lift it up just a little bit so it gets off all 4 locks. So now it's lifted up. And now, well, actually, let me see if I can do this with one hand. I'm pretty sure I can't. All right, so you press this, and basically 110 PSI from the compressor is gonna go into these, into here or here, I'm not sure where, and they release the airlocks. And then I can just bring this down. All right, now just bring it down. Actually, it's not all the way down yet, but what I'm going to do now is, since it's off the last lock, I could just release the air, since it doesn't really matter, and just lower it down the rest of the way. Bam! And there it is, ready to roll off and go for a nice drive. Now, some of you will notice that it's the gap from the lift to the floor is smaller on that side than it is on that side. That's because my garage floor is there's a slight rake to it. So I wanted this to be a square, basically a square setup. So I don't have a car, let's say it doesn't have a good e-brake, or for some reason, I forget something. I don't want this rolling one way or the other. So that's going to be a safety thing for me. But yeah, this is freaking awesome. I love the way this looks. I love the way the red complements the rest of my red cabinets and my red air compressor. I think choosing the red, even though it was a bit of a premium, I think it was like $300 extra just to paint it red. I think that made a really, really big difference. And yeah, I can't wait to get started on some projects, some major projects with this thing in my garage. I'm so excited that you guys could share this with me, because it's a lifelong dream for me. Not only to have this car, and not only to live in my own house, but just to have a garage where I can have a lift and do all the stuff that that gearheads love to do. So yeah, thanks for that. That is the end of today's video, but as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I really enjoy when you guys do that. I like the discussions that you put forth, and it's really, really interesting to me what people think of my videos, and what I'm doing wrong or what I'm doing right. I think this is the right move, to be honest with you. But yeah, thumbs down if you didn't like the video, but thumbs up if you did. 26,000 subscribers, a ton of subscribers, but we can get that number up. And I believe in you, and I hope you believe in me. But join me next time, because that's when I really